Hey players, have you ever tried running D&D for your family? One person's bored, another's lost. You're buried in rulebooks wondering, why does this feel like so much work? You're not alone. I went through the same thing, and the problem isn't you, it's the game. It was August of 2022. My teens and I had just finished Season 4 of Stranger Things, and they turned to me and said, Dad, you know all about D&D, you should totally run a game for us. That was it. Nerd Dad dream unlocked. So I grabbed Horde of the Dragon Queen, dusted off the dice, and we dove in. But even as a lifelong gamer, I learned 5 things the hard way that inspired me to create my own RPG. Number 1. New players don't know the rules yet. Seems obvious, right? But the player's handbook is 316 pages. Even to play a non-magical character, you're looking at nearly 200. And even if you read all that, you'll still be flipping back and forth, looking things up every 5 minutes. Gameplay, momentum, dead. 2. The learning curve is huge. Rolling stats sounds simple on paper. Roll 46, drop the lowest, repeat 6 times. But new players don't know what roll 46 means yet. Then the flood of questions. Which scores go where? What do these abilities even mean? What spells should I pick? What the frig is a cantrip? After explaining races, classes, skills, equipment, our first 3-hour session was 100% character creation, not a single sword swung. 3. Getting to the table is the hardest part. After 45 texts and 3 days, we still had to move game night twice. Finding 3 hours to play feels huge when everyone's busy. After 2 hours of prep ahead of time, reading, printing maps, gathering minis, and tidying the house, I was already wiped out. The players showed up excited with their shiny new dice, but I was feeling the pressure. I had to bring my A game, so I downed a Red Bull and we finally sat down, of course, nearly an hour late. 4. Role-playing is a skill that takes practice. I opened the session with a vivid intro. The players stared at me like deer in the headlights. I asked, "What do you do?" They asked, "Well, what can we do?" Role-playing just doesn't come naturally. It's a skill that takes time to develop. I coached everyone through it as best I could. And just as things looked up, it was 8 p.m. Everyone was hungry, so we broke for pizza. 5. Momentum is fragile, so we returned to the table around 9, sluggish but determined. The pizza fatigue was real, but we marshaled on and managed to get into our first scene greenest in flames. As the momentum picked up and the players were getting into it, one player, had to bail for work the next day. It was already after 10, so we called it. Folks were lukewarm, only just beginning to understand what this whole D&D thing is all about. What's the takeaway? After weeks of ramping new players, wrangling schedules, and slogging through prep, game night just began to feel like a second part-time job. The juice just wasn't worth the squeeze. It's no wonder why so many D&D campaigns fizzle out after only a few sessions. And that's when it hit me. The game just wasn't designed for the world of today. D&D was born in 1974, a pre-internet, pre-digital world when day-to-day life was much slower and simpler. Families had more time, fewer distractions, with much less competing for everyone's attention. So I started thinking,
there must be a better way.
What would a role-playing game designed for the year 2025 even look like? It would need little to no prep, shorter sessions, simple, memorable rules, much faster combat, easy hero progression, something portable, authentic, with that old school vibe, something cool. A game that sparks the same imagination and wonder without the stress, page flipping, or homework. Imagine sitting down, grabbing your hero, and playing right away. Imagine tearing through a 5-room dungeon in under an hour. Imagine awarding experience points after 90 minutes, not 6 hours. That's the kind of role-playing game I wanted for my family. Something quick, easy, and full of wonder. And as a lifelong gamer, a dad, and a designer, I realized the game we need today just doesn't exist. So I set out to create it. I call it RipCrypt. In my next video, I'd love to show you how it works. You'll see how to make a hero in minutes, create a delve, and jump right into real role-playing in under an hour without piles of rules or hours of prep. And trust me, you're gonna want to see this. in action.